Hello, my name is Taliah tabbara. I'm majoring in interior design. I'll be presenting my Studio 2 Formal Tectonics project. Folly for the Void, The Silos, Beirut Port, Lebanon. In his essay, Building Dwelling Thinking, Poetry, Language, Thought, 1971, Martin Heidegger proposed a different building perspective where he refers to caring. He explains the idea of space in which one can build to grow as a human being through good times and life's struggle. Riccardo Paradisi supported Heidegger's thoughts in his article by stating that dwelling is looking after your own space, being in a relation with space, filling the artificial gap between designing, constructing, and eventually dwelling. The port of Beirut stands near to the most expensive real estate in town, which is the Beirut Central District. In early 1980s, this area was pinpointed for redevelopment. Then after the end of the Civil War, it was the target of one of the biggest investment operations in Lebanese history. Because the redevelopment was considered controversial due to concerns about a lack of sustainability, inequality with the rest of the city, also high property prices, lack of public spaces, and costly services. This group of neighborhoods own many of Lebanon's state and private services that includes the electricity provider, which is EDL, a bus terminal, and 3 hospitals. Jemaise and Mar Mikhael in particular have experienced a process of gentrification. Gentrification, to be more specific, is the process whereby the character of a poor urban zone is changed into a wealthier people moving in, where they improve houses and attract new businesses. The popular quarter around the port and the reconstructed city centers present two sides of Beirut, which is Beirut post-war reconstruction. Top-down approach with master plan took place in the Beirut Central District, while a slow-burning gentrification characterizes the other neighborhoods. The first musing is the use of materials such as sticks, toilet rolls, and A-series planes in order to embody the quote about dwelling by Martin Heidegger. My idea started off by directing the model towards light, which means that there is hope, hoping for a better future and to a more stable one. While sitting kinetics is about understanding the poetics of mechanism in order to have an idea of how it can come together to create a concept. The concept that I based my project on is unity and stability. This model rig N shows the state of being united and joined as a whole. Cylinders come together as one and show stability. At first, cylinders are apart. Once we pull the sticks, two parts of the model shrink into each other to create oneness. This indicates that we can find peacefulness by being able to build stability and uniting divided parts that are remaining. It's not just about space, but the degree to which it facilitates rebirth, rebuilding trust, and healing the soul of the place. In this site model, what is the most common are the ramps that people will be cycling on. The fold shows room folds and ramps that goes under the ground and above in order for people to cycle on. In this sectional model, I created the mechanism that goes back and forth in order to park the bike in an electrical way by placing the bike and automatically parks on its own. This is the top view technical drawing on a scale 1 to 1000. These are the material layout, from glass to bark to wood to stone, rock, concrete, and metal. These two pictures shows the silos in the Beirut port before and after the explosion. In the second picture on the right, you can see how damaged it is. The shattered pieces of the silos are ashes, which is the powder residue left after the explosion. In this picture, a question was asked. How do you see peace in this picture? Peacefulness in the remains of the building that invites us to rebuild. It incites a rebirth. The remains do not only embody a space, but are suggestive of trust. The rebuild of structure is capable of healing the soul of the city.
Hello, my name is Tabbara. Here we have the sectional model with rig N, scale 1 to 100, and here we have the site model, scale 1 to 1000, including the folds, the landscape, the silos, and the folly. The first thing that draws to this site is the bicycle park where people ride their bikes with a beautiful sea view. People would come and cycle while they watch the beautiful sunset by the sea.
I was particularly interested in Noubar Corrigion bicycle shop called Cyclosport in the beginning of Jemaise near the Blue Mosque. The shop goes back to 1985 where you're looking to merely rent a bike. Few years later, he rented the land which became a bike park for cycling while watching the sunset by the sea. The bicycle culture in Lebanon began during the Civil War, which lasted from 1975 to 1990. The many roadblocks, fret space of the soft road, and the lack of gasoline led people to look for alternatives to their cars.
In this site model, what is the most common are the ramps that people will be cycling on. The fold shows ramps that goes under the ground and above the ground in order for people to cycle on. And the silos, which is a kind of a museum that people can access using the bike in order to remember what happened in the Beirut port after the blast. Creating the mechanism that goes back and forth in order to park the bike in an electrical way by placing the bike and automatically parks on its own. It's basically a parking for bikes.